Welcome to today's podcast, Healing Through Love, with Dr. Matt Singer, a holistic medicine specialist with an expertise in energy work, homeopathy, and works with people all around the world to help them remove emotions trapped in the body. And co-host Holly Celiano, a mother, intuitive healer, and well known to international audience as a resource for truth seekers on a variety of global concerns that are currently impacting humanity. Today's focus, let's talk about health.
Hello, everybody. I am Holly Celiano, and I am here with my co-host, Dr. Matthew Singer. Hi, Matt.
Holly, it's great to do this with you again.
Yes. And today we are talking about health, because that is both your and my passion in life. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything else. So let's dive into health, because it is, to me, the elixir in life. It is, your health is your true wealth.
Yes.
If you can find a way to stay healthy, body, mind, spirit, that is the key. Because one of my doctors told me a long time ago when I was dealing with breast cancer, if one of those bodies is out of alignment, all bodies are out of alignment. So you have to have all bodies in alignment. You have to have balance. If you don't have balance, then the entire system is out of balance. So you deal with patients every day, and I'm sure you see this in all your patients.
100%. And you know, Holly, when we're talking about balance, as we think about balance, it's always a mind, body, and spirit connection. So when we talk about balance, one of the first aspects of balance is the mind. And you know, when we talk about health, you know, you and I have talked about this a lot. The colon, you know, is one of the most important aspects of the body, because the essential elements of life have to be absorbed in the colon. And I see so many issues with patients who have been sick for years. And the symptoms may have to do with everything from skin, hair, nails, eyes, head, growths on their body, lung issues, heart issues, pancreatic issues, and there's an origin in the colon. And I thought this would be a good place for us to kind of dive in, especially when we're dealing with the mind. You know, we'll get to the, obviously in other podcasts, the body and aspects of it. But when we're dealing with the mind, when we're dealing with the colon we're dealing with, there's 4 areas: the ascending, transverse, descending, and sigmoid colon. But what's interesting is there's so many emotions that attach with the colon. So, you know, one of the most powerful negative emotions that can affect the colon in any area is feeling judged. Judgment, feeling judged, being judgmental towards circumstances in our life, or feeling that other people are judging us, is one of the most powerful emotions that can affect the colon.
And I think everybody feels judged.
Yes.
We've been judged since we're little. That's how life is. We're judged about everything. I'm not good enough. I don't fit in. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not a better athlete. You know, we judge ourselves from the time we're little and compare ourselves to everybody else.
Yes.
And all those emotions of not feeling worthy, we store them in the body.
Yes. So sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and the colon, if your colon, they say death begins in the colon.
Mm-hmm.
So if your colon is, and most people, you know, not to be graphic, but their colon is impacted with fecal matter.
Yes.
Because if the colon is storing these emotions, it's not cleansing itself properly, and it's then not absorbing the nutrients properly.
Yes.
And then that's when all illnesses begin.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So you were going to say?
I was going to say, when when someone is in a routine of either judging themselves, comparing themselves, criticizing themselves, anything that leads to judgment, that means, like you were just saying, they're implying that they're not good enough. They're implying that someone or something is better than them. They're putting someone or something on a pedestal and they're putting themselves down. And one of the most powerful things I like to do is have them invoke a mantra of the opposite feeling. So if somebody is feeling judged and they're judging themselves, I'll have them say things that would be the opposite. So what would one of the opposite emotions of being judged be? If we were to heal it, what are we going to heal it? What's the opposite we're going to heal it with?
The opposite of being judged is accepting yourself, fully
Absolutely.
embracing yourself.
Yes. So if the easiest way for our listeners to make a mantra is, if we know the opposite of judging ourselves is completely accepting and loving ourselves, then a simple mantra is, I unconditionally accept and love every part of my life. And by simply saying those phrases and feeling it right in the gut, we're telling ourselves, I give you permission to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Very powerful.
Well, as you and I have talked about, people don't love themselves.
Yeah.
And you're not loving yourself, you're judging yourself.
Yes. And then
Because
when you're judging yourself, then what happens? You get that gut feeling that something's wrong. So it's your colon talking to you.
Yes. Well, there is a gut brain connection.
Absolutely.
So, your gut is talking to your brain and telling your brain these thoughts.
Yes.
And a lot of them can be subconscious. It doesn't even have to be conscious thoughts.
Absolutely. So I'm going to go through another. Here's another very powerful emotion that affects the colon, is feeling stuck in life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because just like you were saying, we could be impacted with feces. So what is that? That's stuck. So if we feel stuck somewhere in life, that will mimic it with our colon not being able to move the feces out of the way.
Right.
So
if you're not getting feces out of the way and things are stuck there, you're going to get sick.
Absolutely.
Because that has to move. There are toxins building up in the body.
Yes. So in your experience, what do you think some of the most common ways people get stuck are? Like, what do you think people get stuck in what kind of thinking?
Their thinking is, again, they're not good enough. They're not loving or accepting life. They're stuck in life.
Yeah. What about the person in the bad relationship and they think they're stuck?
Yeah, absolutely. They feel there's no way out and this is just their lot in life and they have to just accept it.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of patients say to me that they are so unhappy in their marriage, but they're raised a certain religion and you can't get divorced in the religion. So they feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
They make themselves sick.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So what could we say to somebody? What kind of a mantra could we say to someone who feels stuck in life?
If they feel stuck in life, first of all, I'd have them look at, where do you feel you're stuck? If you're stuck in a bad relationship, that's a choice that you're making, that you have to stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
From whether it's a programming from a religion or things that you were taught as a child that this is how it's got to be, you can unlearn that and change that program. If it is in a job that you don't like, you don't have to stay in that job. You can venture out and do something different.
Yes.
If it is in anything in life that you're feeling stuck in, you have to make that choice. The problem is most people are terrified or afraid.
Yes.
The fear of the unknown sometimes is worse than staying stuck in something. So they would stay in what they're comfortable with, what they know, than to venture out into the unknown.
Yes. So what would a good mantra be from what you were saying? I am eternally free to change my life, and I am unconditionally supported by the universe in my decisions.
Absolutely.
So if they
That would be
feel,
a great
yeah,
one.
if they feel that sense of freedom and always supported, that's a great way of unstucking the energy. Um, here's another powerful one, an energy that connects to the colon is um, inflexible. So if very often I'll hear people say to me, um, these rules are just ridiculous. They're not bending. They're not seeing it my way. This person's so inflexible because they're just following the rules. And it's got to be done this way and it's got to be done this way. And they're not willing to look outside the box or see that things are changing. They're just so rigid and so stuck in their ways, right? They're so inflexible.
Right. Yes. And
So,
you know what? That is a majority of the people. I hear that a lot.
mhm,
And I
mhm.
see that as people age, they become more and more rigid and inflexible,
Yes.
and they refuse to change.
Yes. And then they get stuck in an old system of beliefs that don't apply to them anymore, but they're
Right.
not willing to see it.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's people don't realize we create our reality by our thoughts and our beliefs. You and I have talked about this. That
Yes.
creates the reality. What you think is actually what you're creating. So if you're in this mindset that you're stuck and things have to be a certain way, you're creating that for yourself. So it's learning to, for for me on my journey of healing, is learning to just flow with life, be
Mhm.
in the flow with life, be flexible, be pliable, unlearn certain things, learn new things, and just go with whatever life is throwing at me.
I love it. So would you say a good mantra would be, I lovingly flow with the energy of life, and
I love that.
I am unlimited possibilities.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
That that
See
is
what this is? When we can get them to
yes.
just say that. And then the mantra you can always add or change to it, and there's no wrong way of saying it.
Right.
Here's another one. This one really sticks to the colon really well is compulsive. Somebody who's compulsive, right? Oh, those they focus on this one thing over and over and over again. But this happened, but it's it, right? Someone who doesn't feel good, and you tell them okay, I want you to take your focus off the pain and I want you to focus on relief. But it's been like this for so long, but it's like this, but yesterday was like this, and now it feels a little different. Right?
Mhm.
Compulsively focused on the same thing. What would you say to that?
So if somebody is doing that, what I see is a cry for help,
Mhm.
because some people have their disease or their illness or their pain become their identity and they get attention that way. And some people just want attention, whether it's positive or negative, they're still getting attention.
Yes.
And a lot of the times, these symptoms or illnesses or pains we create just by focusing on them all the time.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. So,
So what mantra would you give to somebody that's compulsive like that?
so let's think about what's the opposite of being compulsive would be what? What would you say?
Um, Being free, not compulsive, just flowing.
Yes. So I am free to flow with the new inspirations that life brings to me.
I like that. These are great.
Hmm.
And you know what? When you say that, there is a resonance that I feel in my body. There's like a peace that washes over me.
Yes. And when we connect to the heart and we just want to find that mantra and you kind of go into the opposite, you'll hear your heart tell you. It'll just come to you. It'll
Mhm.
flow to you. Here's another big one that sticks to the colon is melancholy. When people say, oh, I'm not happy, I'm not sad, I'm just whatever, you know. And I see that a lot because when we constantly need the outer environment to stimulate us to feel good about ourselves or to feel excited or happy or renewed, if we need that outside source to fill us with the excitement or the joy, and then something happens where either the person that made us feel good or the event or the thing that we bought is no longer exciting anymore, when the outer circumstance is no longer serving our excitement, then it becomes very hard for that person to be excited and they fall into that energy of melancholy because now they're saying, well, there's nothing else that really just gets me excited.
Well, it becomes like a drug. Like you're
Yes.
using a drug as the next high. I was
Yes.
talking with somebody about this yesterday. It's almost like somebody starts off with marijuana. Marijuana's not strong enough. They go to cocaine.
Mhm.
Cocaine doesn't do it enough. They go to heroin.
Mhm.
Heroin's not good enough. They go to the next stronger drug. And that's what people in life, we're conditioned ourselves to look externally for something to make us feel good,
Mhm.
whatever your addiction of life is. And you can use outside stimulants for that feel good instead of just automatically feeling good without having an outside stimulant.
Yes. So a good mantra would be, I am constantly renewed with the inner balance of my love.
Mm, I like that. That's awesome.
So
I
let's
am
talk about,
constituted
yeah,
with the inner balance of my love. I
yeah.
love that.
So let's talk about some foods that would help for our viewers when someone has an issue with the colon. Um, so
Well, I really recommend, first of all, um, they should do a colon cleanse.
yes.
And there's many out there. Um, but you really need to get rid of whatever is stuck there. And another thing that goes along with that, and this is a big thing that everybody's talking about, and it's not anything that we in the Western world really address, but our parasites.
Yes.
We are loaded with parasites, and parasites creates a whole host of illnesses and disease. They even say cancer is from a parasite.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so you've got to do a parasite cleanse and a colon cleanse.
Yes.
And then you can start unstucking whatever is stuck in there, cleaning it out, and then you can absorb the nutrients from whatever you're eating and whatever supplements you're taking.
Absolutely. And getting to that topic of parasites, a lot of times when we think of parasites, we think of parasites that would be in undercooked meat or fish, or even eggs or different types of vegetables. But it isn't always from an outside source. We're also born with a tremendous amount of parasites that are actually helpful to the body. But if we're not eating properly, if our pH is not balanced, we can actually start to feed those parasites, and then they can start to really wreak havoc, and they can burrow into the organs in the body, and then they can really start to affect areas like the liver and the muscles and the GI tract. So yes, it is. There are some that really can hurt us from undercooked meats, but a lot of the parasites, um, we're born with them. And if we don't have a good microbiome, which is the healthy bacteria in the gut, then those parasites will start feeding off those unhealthy bacteria. And it can really start to wreak havoc. And like you said, cancer cells, they always find parasites and viruses in all cancer cells. And um, Dr. Hulda Clark was a very famous naturopath, and she invented a product called the Zapper, and that worked wonders with parasites as well. So that's a simple thing people can do. There are, which we'll get into later, a lot of very powerful colon cleanses and other ways of cleansing the body. Some of my favorite foods for ridding parasites is garlic and onion. Those two simple foods are amazing for ridding the body of parasites or of immediate types of parasitic infections.
It also keeps a lot of people away from you.
It does.
You'll smell.
You smell, and what's funny is once a month I do a garlic cleanse where I don't know if you smelled me when I was doing it, but I will
I
literally,
have.
yes, I will peel about 50 cloves of garlic and I'll roast them and I'll eat them in a 1 to 2 day period. And
Wow.
it is life changing. It is powerful. It cleanses you out, and it definitely makes people not want to be close to me because for
Yep.
about a day I will stink like garlic, but it is powerful. And I mean, it will cleanse the colon so powerfully. So what I usually do is with each meal, I'll have 15 cloves of garlic with each meal. And like for my breakfast, I'll have, instead of your typical breakfast, I'll have like roasted potatoes and vegetables with the garlic. And then for lunch, I'll have a big salad with the garlic. And for dinner, I'll have more types of like lentils or squash with the garlic, and it cleans you out.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But most people are addicted to sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar is in all our foods today.
Mhm.
They just lace everything with sugar. And sugar feeds parasites.
Yes.
And sugar creates an imbalance in your pH.
Correct.
And it just throws the whole body off. So if you can cut out sugar and the bad carbs and, if you drink an excessive amount of alcohol,
Hmm.
you know, wean
Yeah.
yourself off all this stuff and go to organic fruits and vegetables and, protein
Yes. Absolutely. And
and just really be conscious of what you're eating because
yes.
if anything is prepackaged, it's not the right stuff. I mean, try to just eat the natural stuff.
Correct. Because
Sadly, many
yes,
of us are addicted to this packaged food.
it's so true. And that's the stuff that's loaded with sugar. And
Mhm.
getting back to your point, one of the easiest ways, someone says, I have such a hard time breaking the addiction to sugar. Well, one of the easiest ways to actually break it is to do a fast. You do a 1 day fast, and that was a
Yes.
great way to start a cleanse as well. And for me, one of the ways I like to fast is I will do a fast where I'll start my day out with water with lemon, and I'll drink about 4 glasses. In each hour, I'll drink a full glass of water with a wedge of lemon squeezed in it. And so, like, let's say I start at 6 a.m. So by 10 a.m., then I will do 4 glasses of carrot and apple. I'll juice it, and I'll have raw carrot apple juice, and I'll drink that. And I will drink it 16 ounces, four cups of 16 ounces of carrot apple juice. And then 4 hours later, because I'll do that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll go to straight celery juice, and I'll do it hour 1, 2, 3, and 4 straight celery juice, and then I'll finish up the day with water with lemon or water with grapefruit squeezed into the water, and I'll finish it up like that. And that's a great way of truly, you'll feel it like you'll feel like you won't even need the sugar. It's a great way of balancing
Right.
the pancreas and the liver.
Yes, fasting is awesome. I do fast as well. And it really does, it breaks the cycle of your addiction.
Yes, absolutely.
I think one of the best things anybody can do starting this year is focus on your health because truly that is your wealth.
It really is. So if you were to give the viewers your favorite game plan for starting a new way of eating, a way of living, what would it be?
I would first recommend go slow, because anything you do drastically is not sustainable. Just start out slow, just start cutting out something each day
Yes.
and working your way. For me, I find it is a mindset. I have to have my mind geared and ready for whatever I'm going to tackle, whether it's if I'm going to do a fast, well, my mind's got to be totally game on for that fast. If I'm going to go on a diet, my head has to be, I'm doing this. If it's exercising, it's all a mindset for me. I don't know if it is for you, but it starts in my mind before I can do anything, tackle anything. And then the mind is like, okay, I can do this and I'm doing it. And my mindset is, this is it, we're doing it. And there's no going back.
Yes. You're 100% right. That's exactly how I feel as well. And when people say to me, oh, I can't do it. And I say, yes, you can. And they said, well, I just don't have the mindset for it. I said, yes, you do. Because if you have the mindset to give into your craving, that's a mindset. All you got to do is just look at it the other way. I have the mindset to give into my craving. Well, that means you can create a mindset to resist the craving.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, people are lazy and they don't want to give up the things they're addicted to.
Yes.
And because it is a mindset, it's that food, that sugar, it is an addiction, and it's like a drug that you've got to give up that addiction.
Absolutely. That's exactly
So
right.
it's your mind. You have to have the mind in whatever it is you want to do to be successful for whatever you want to do.
Yes. And it's so true how it's an addiction, because white refined sugar is a drug. Because if you take the sugar from an orange, you can have that sugar all day and not be addicted to the orange.
Right.
But if you have a Cinnabon, once you'll be addicted to that Cinnabon, because it's completely different sugar. The sugar you're getting from those foods is a poison, and
it is a poison.
It is a true drug, because you can literally have a banana and not be addicted to the banana, but there's sugar in bananas. You can have an orange and not be addicted to the orange, and there's a lot of sugar in the orange. Grapefruits, pineapple, mangoes, papayas, and you're not addicted to that. You have one Cinnabon, and you'll be addicted to that Cinnabon.
Yes, I agree.
So just be careful. I tell the viewers, just be careful of the, and the biggest lie that they're told is when someone is diabetic, they say, oh, don't eat fruit because there's sugar in fruit. Well, that's the biggest lie, because the sugar in the fruit is actually antiviral. It's very healing for the pancreas and the liver. It's been proven. So the people who are in my office who are diabetic, and we get them on the good fruits and vegetables, their A1C numbers change drastically and very quickly. So it's also understanding the mindset of what we're being told is not always the truth.
Right. So, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this was excellent, Holly. I really had a lot of fun doing this.
Yes. Well, it's our passion. It's what we love and what we do. And this is the year to be healthy. Yes. Make health your true wealth in 2024.
Yes. This is the year of change. This is the 8th year. So anything is possible in this year. So just trust yourself and allow yourself to do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you. And everybody, you can do it. Get your head in the game.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much and have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining Healing Through Love. And please stay tuned for future shows. And join us as we spread the power of love.